How's it going, you big beautiful bastards? Welcome back to another NFL career sim. Today we dive into the legendary career of Champ Bailey, the greatest cornerback of his generation. Top two. I hate to debate that and say top two, but Darrelle Revis does exist and they're interchangeable as 1 and 2. But I'm also willing to put Champ Bailey at 1. In my opinion, he's 1. So you can see we have number 24 at cornerback coming out of Georgia. He's 22 years of age. He is currently projected, I'm pretty sure, the 13th pick in the draft, and he is. Champ Bailey was originally drafted by the Washington Redskins, who are now the Washington Commanders, back in 1999. He was later in 2003 traded to the Denver Broncos, where he would cement his legacy as one of the greatest corners of all time. There's also a weird stint in 2014 where in the preseason he signed with the Saints. He never actually played for the Saints, though. We'll jump into the draft. Actually, I don't know who has the number 1 pick. Let's not jump right into the draft. That was almost really bad. Patriots currently have the number 1 overall pick, so we'll go over to New England. We'll see what's cooking over there. Obviously nothing if they have the number 1 overall pick. They're not cooking at all. I also, as we're sitting here going to the Patriots, I want to say thank you guys for all the support on the Braun video. It was my first video back in a while, and it did great. It felt awesome to see, and just thank you everyone who watches the videos. I hope you guys do enjoy these videos. I try and put as much time into them as I can, and I love doing them. It's a lot of fun, especially one like this, because Champ Bailey was always one of those guys that I loved watching. If you guys have any recommendations for who you want next, there's some that I've missed, but over the month I was off, I've kind of forgot. So if I've missed yours along the way, comment down below. Just let me know who you guys want to see next. Let's jump into the draft, though. The Patriots with the number 1 overall pick aren't going to take him. They take Joe Alt, so they're sticking with Mac Jones. The Commanders take Ulu Fashanu. The Bears have pick number 4, and they're going to take Dallas Turner. The Seattle Seahawks, a year after drafting Devin Witherspoon, take Laitu Latu. The Atlanta Falcons are up next, a team with a history of good cornerbacks, and they take Brock Bowers at tight end, though. The Arizona Cardinals at pick 7 take Drake May. They're moving on from Kyler. Up at pick 10 is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and they're going to take Jaden Daniels. Okay, so they move on from Baker, a year removed from him getting them to the divisional round, which he obviously didn't do in the sim if they have pick 10, but still. And the Raiders up next. Champ Bailey is staying in the AFC West, but he is going to the rival Oakland Raiders, or Las Vegas Raiders. Wow. We're 1 pick away from him potentially going to Detroit, who just recently lost in the championship game a few days ago. Heartbreaking loss, man. That was the team I was cheering for. It was sucked to see, but Dan Campbell lived and died by going for it on 4th down, not kicking field goals. It's like he said earlier today, he gambled and he lost. It sucks. Sometimes it's going to happen, but it's the type of football Dan Campbell played all year, and I don't think you can knock him for it. Then Lamar and the Ravens really choked. They had 11 rushes against the the worst rush defense in the league. Thankfully, they did fire Josh McDaniels. We now have Gary Crawford, who I kind of want to change to Antonio Pierce. We'll leave it with Gary Crawford for now. If he inevitably gets fired, I'm going to put Antonio Pierce in there because that is who all of the Raiders team wants to play for, basically. Max Crosby is going to request a trade if they didn't hire him as head coach. We'll see if Champ Bailey is able to come in here and help turn this team around. He does go to a defense that already has Max Crosby and maybe has potentially picked up more. We have Baker Mayfield as a starting quarterback, backed up by J.J. McCarthy. We have Tay Adams still, Josh Jacobs. There's Jacoby Myers and Michael Mayer. Defensively, we go over here. We do still have Tyree Wilson. Is this Nate Hobbs? Isn't that what it is? Yeah, Nate Hobbs. So Nate Hobbs remains cornerback 1 as Champ Bailey was down at corner 2. He is a 79 overall. Max Crosby is still a 99. Wait, we got Patrick Queen? Okay, we're looking good here. We got Patrick Queen along with Divine Diablo. I mean, this team has some potential. We'll see how Champ can progress through his rookie season. We'll see if this team can push for the playoffs with Baker at quarterback. I do like moving on from Jimmy G in favor of Baker Mayfield. Gives you a younger quarterback, a guy that I think is a great leader. And there we go. As 3 AFC West teams sneak their way into the playoffs, the Raiders were 3rd in the division and still managed to make it at, I'm assuming we're the 7th seed. We'll look at the bracket real quick. We are in fact the 7th seed, playing the number 2 seed Jacksonville Jaguars, led by Trevor Lawrence. Travis Etienne was actually their number 1 rated player. We'll go take a look at our stats real quick, see how Champ did. Baker had a pretty good season for himself. We're not too worried about that. We're going to go over to defense. Patrick Queen ended up leading this team in tackles with 127 total. TFLs, you can see Max Crosby. INTs, you had Marcus Epps, Julian Love, Trevor Moehrig, and actually Champ Bailey does not get an interception in his rookie year. year. Champ did have 72 tackles at TFL, no sacks, no INTs, a forced fumble, and 6 pass deflections. A pretty good season for a rookie corner. I don't think that's going to win him Rookie of the Year. He actually isn't even on the list for AFC Defensive Rookie of the Year. You can see Jared Verse 1. You have Jerzon Newton up here, and Cooper DeJean is all the way down here for the Jets. Let's take a look real quick. I just want to see what overall he's up to, how Champ has progressed. I'm sure he's still below Nate Hobbs. He is, but he has progressed all the way up to an 83. Hobbs is up to an 85. Going into the next couple seasons, Champ will probably progress into corner 1 above Nate Hobbs, but for right now, obviously the rookie's going to be corner 2, kind of the same way Joey Porter Jr. was this year for the Steelers. He was corner 2 to start the year. He honestly wasn't even playing, and then all of a sudden they threw him in as corner 1 because Pat Pete and Levi Wallace were basically just burnt toast. Pat Pete was actually really good at safety though, and I hope they permanently move him there next year. Great start for this 7-seed team. Okay, we're throwing it away. Never mind, we threw it away. Oh god, Baker needs to cook here and get him downfield, and that's a 4th and 14, and now they punt. So in a big moment here for the defense on a 3rd and 3, we will jump in and watch this play and see what happens. On a 3rd and 3 here, I'm pretty sure that is Champ Bailey lined up top. I can't tell because yeah, Nate Hobbs is 39, so he's down here on the bottom. Champ is lined up top. It's a handoff to Etienne, and he gets stuffed short. So they are going to give an offense an opportunity to drive it down and take the lead here in the wild card round. Baker has to get them down the field and into the end zone, and he does. Oh my god, 43 seconds left. The defense needs to come up big here. Champ Bailey, I'm pretty sure that is him down there at number 20. He's lined up near Evan Ingram. He's glitching out. He's covering deep. T-Law is rolling out. He has open field, and he stopped short of the first down, bringing up a 3rd and 1. Champ, you can see his helmet sticking up down there on the bottom right above the Bucks logo. T-Law is dropping back to throw, throws it to the opposite side, and it's intercepted by Nate Hobbs, and we're going to win in the wild card round from the number 7 seed. Trevor had 165 and 3 touchdowns in the game-losing interception. Baker had 156 and a touchdown. I'm curious, yeah, Jacobs had 135 and a touchdown. Defensively, Patrick Queen went off, and now we go into the divisional matchup against the Kansas City Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes in the divisional round. They are the number 1 seed. They still have the same big 3 with Mahomes, Travis Kelce, and Chris Jones. This isn't a team that you want to be excited to play, but maybe the rookie can put some stops on Kelce that nobody has before. I doubt it. We are actually tied going into the half. The Chiefs do score coming out of the half. We score back, they score back, and then we score again, and now the defense needs to come up big. And now here on 3rd and 4, we have to come out and make a big stop. I just need to make sure that number 20 is Champ Bailey, because it's weird to me that he had no stats, and they hit Kelce over the middle. I just double-checked. Champ is number 20. We'll jump in here and watch the rest of this drive. You can see him lined up. They are in man this time. He's on Kadarius Toney, man. You can lock up Kadarius Toney with ease. Champ actually lets Toney go by him. It's a handoff to Pacheco. Champ is almost in there. He kind of dives on him at the end, helps with the tackle a little bit. Pacheco's got 2 touchdowns. It is now 2nd and 3. We are under 4 minutes to go here in the 4th. Mahomes is running a counter to, oh my god, he ran through an arm tackle of Max Crosby. Isaiah Pacheco running like he bites ankles. Mahomes in the shotgun this time. You can see Champ up top. Mahomes is dropping back. Spillane is on him. Mahomes ends up just throwing it away. He has 318 and 2 touchdowns. He's absolutely diced up this defense. Once again in the shotgun here, you have Mahomes. Champ is lined up top towards Kadarius Toney. It's not man coverage, and it's a handoff to Pacheco. And he's getting blocked by Kadarius Toney. Champ, you can't be letting Kadarius Toney bitch you like that. Coming out in a heavy set here on a 3rd and 2 are the Chiefs. We need a big stop here defensively. Pacheco up the middle is actually going to get stood up. Did they go for this? They're trying the field goal from here. What is this? This is a 57-yarder for Harrison Butker. He'd probably make it, actually. The kick is up, and from 57, he hits it. Baker's got to get him down the field. That's not a good sack to take there on 2nd and 19. He converts it to Hunter Renfrow, and then he takes, oh, that's a holding penalty. Okay, and now we're back to 2nd and 9. We're in field goal range already, though. And now we're tied again with 1:21 to go. And now Mahomes out in the shotgun again. Champ lined up top like he has been. Dropping back to throw is Mahomes. He's got no time back there. He's actually going to throw back across his body to a wide open Rashee Rice, who gets planted by Robert Spillane. Mahomes once again out here in the shotgun. You can see Champ. It looks like he's lined up over Rashee Rice out wide. Rashee Rice cut. That's not Rice. That's Rice. I don't know who that receiver was. 14 on the Chiefs or 12. Oh, it's McCole Hardman. I forgot they have McCole Hardman again. Champ is lined up top near Kadarius Toney once again. Mahomes is dropping back to throw. He's got time back there, and over the middle he actually finds McCole Hardman. They are about 10 yards out of field goal range with a timeout still remaining. Mahomes in the shotgun. Champ is in, no, they're in zone. They're not running man. Dude, you need to put Champ Bailey in man coverage. And now with 10 seconds to go, the Chiefs are in field goal range. They did just make a 57-yarder. there's a handoff. Just hold him up. Hold him up. Hold him up. Don't tackle him. And there's a flag. Holding? Oh my God, that's huge. This is going to make it a 60-yard field goal. Harrison Butker with a 60-yard field goal here to move his team on to the AFC Championship game, or Champ Bailey gets to go to OT, and the kick is... Nope. Oh my God, he made it? Dude, I'm over it. I'm over it. I give up. And the super sim broke. I should have just let it end. I shouldn't have backed out of it. I should have just let the damn game end. And just like that, we now move on to year 2 of Champ Bailey's career. We will see where this leads from here. He did not rack up a lot of interceptions or anything, but it's like I said, he had a career, he had 4 seasons in Washington before going to Denver and really elevating himself into the player he was. I had to try and find the word there. That's like the little pause in there. I couldn't think of what word I wanted to use. As we go into year 2, we maintain the same skill players offensively. We still have Nate Hobbs. Champ is up to an 84, where he probably will progress into corner 1 this year. We did end up losing our safety in Julian Love. We lost Robert Spillane. We also lost, I can't remember who this name was that was at D tackle, but we did manage to keep Tyree Wilson, Max Crosby, Nate Hobbs, and Mo Rigg, sorry. Along with Patrick Queen. Oh, we lost Divine Diablo too. Is that Josh Uche? I'd like for Champ to actually put up some numbers this year though, like some INTs, maybe. I mean, he had a forced fumble last year. And there it is, the fall off. We go 6-11 and miss the playoffs in year 2 of Champ Bailey. We had the 9th rated rushing offense, but everything else was in the red, meaning that the defense struggled. Baker also struggled. He was second to last in passing yards. Defensively, we'll take a look. Patrick Queen once again led the team in tackles. We go over here to Champ Bailey, who had 74 total tackles, 3 TFLs, no sacks, still no INTs 2 seasons in, and 6 pass deflections for his 2nd year in a row. It's just not working out for him. I don't think this defense plays enough man coverage, which is where I think like I want to kind of change up the scheme for him here. We'll sim to next season. I'm sitting here trying to think of what defense plays a lot of man coverage, but I'll have to go in and just take a look at it. So our coach currently runs Green Bay playbooks. I kind of just want to switch this back to Las Vegas's defense because I feel like that's a little bit of a better fit. For our base 3-4, we actually do match up pretty well, but also a 3-4 under is kind of nice. I could go disguise 3-4, actually might kill it. Yeah, we're gonna go disguise 3-4. We're gonna see with the change up schemes what this team can do this year. We got to actually take a look at the team. That'd be smart to do. Again, offensively, we keep the same core. We go over to the defense here with Max Crosby. There's Tyree Wilson. We now have Smith here at safety. Nate Hobbs has moved down to corner 2 as Champ Bailey progresses into CB1 on this team. Patrick Queen has progressed and now has superstar dev. We still have Zach Collins. We still have Mo Rigg. Josh Uche has now progressed into our number 1 left outside linebacker. We have a rookie in Winners now at D tackles. So this team again is progressing a little better than I was expecting. Also, we have the potential to go to a playoff game this year because I still think that offense can put up points, and the defense with the changed up schemes and better coaching could probably hold teams to under 30 points, unlike last season. I feel like I'm a professional yapper. Sometimes I feel like I just start yapping in these, like talking about the scheme there, and I just can't stop myself. I just keep talking and talking and talking and talking. And I was right. We're 11-6. We won the division. We get a home playoff game in Vegas. You can take a look here. The defense was 6th. That's an insane change in a season. 14th against the pass, 17th against the run, but we were apparently really good at stopping teams from scoring, which I'm assuming, oh, the Jets have the 5th though, so we're having a really good defensive matchup here in this playoff game. Baker had his best season so far probably on this team. We'll take a look at our defense real quick, where once again, Patrick Queen is the leading tackler. Champ Bailey had 77 tackles for 3 TFLs, and he finally has his first career interception along with 7 pass deflections. Only 1 interception on the year. Nobody really stacked up too many, except for Devin Blackman, the free safety. He's not even the starting free safety on this team. That's kind of wild. The backup free safety led the team in INTs, but we get a wild card game here as we go to play the Jets in Vegas. Obviously, he's not defensive player of the year, so we're not going to take a look at that. Jets best player still Quinnen Williams. Quinnen Williams is still around. They still have Sauce. They still have Breece Hall. Why does Sauce and Breece Hall kind of look like they could be brothers? I feel like this is the first time in a couple sims in the first 2 seasons we've actually made the playoffs. I feel like usually on the defensive ones, we just blow through the first like 10 years. We do, we're down 3. Never mind. As we approach the half, down 3, they do get down the field. They make a field goal to tie the game. They take a 3-point lead. They take a 10-point lead. 17-point lead. Where did that come from? And Baker Mayfield wins another wild card game for us. And there is our head coach. I can't remember his name, to be honest. Baker threw 176 and a touchdown. Defensively, Chris Barnes, who is our middle linebacker 2, he ends up leading the game in tackles. We'll go take a look here and look for Champ Bailey. And is he not on here there again. There he is. Champ only had 1 total tackle in the game. He had 1 pass deflection, which I think is actually the most anybody had in the game. Yep, him and Sauce both had 1. So did Nate. So did Patrick Queen. Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah is a Jet. That's crazy seeing Jock on the Jets, but I really like Jock. In my opinion, he's the second best player on that defense behind Myles Garrett, but I also like the corners are stacked. They also have Zadarius Smith, who's also insane, and we get another home playoff game as we go to face the Miami Dolphins. They have to come to Vegas. Sadly, we're not a cold weather team, so Miami should be on top of their game. Champ gets an opportunity to go against the best of the best in Tyreek Hill, as he is corner 1, and he should be following Tyreek around majority of the field. We are currently up 13 going into the half. We score again, make it a 21. Dude, how did we get to a 21-point game? We went for 2. Okay, dude, it's a 31-point game. It's over. We won. Tua is terrible. This goes back to the LeBron sim. I hate Tua. I am a Tua hater, especially in Madden. 323 and 4 touchdowns out of Baker. He cooked, and he's going to an AFC Championship game. Defensively, we take a look. Patrick Queen had the 1 interception for us. Jalen Ramsey had another. We'll just go to pass deflections and filter it that way, where Chris Barnes had 2, which was the most, and it doesn't look like Champ had any. Champ finishes the game with 3 tackles, no pass deflections, no other really stats to talk about, but he's going to an AFC Championship game. It's kind of funny how I wound up on Champ Bailey's. I like when I don't know who to make a video on, I ask my buddies, I'm like, who should I do? It's like one of those conversations you have with your friends where you sit around and you name old football players for like an hour. But he ended up saying Champ Bailey, and he used to be a Broncos fan, but recently a lot of people I think are starting to hate Denver. I can't say that like he bandwagoned somewhere else because he became a Pittsburgh fan like the rest of us. He's been watching Steelers games, getting hyped with us. I like to think of myself as a football fan before I'm a Steelers fan. So like I gotta respect where he's coming from. I just like good football. But here in the championship game, we play the Jaguars, a team that took us out in the we beat them in the wild card round 2 years ago with a Super Bowl on the line. They have to come to Vegas. You can see Evan Ingram, Travis Etienne, and Trevor Lawrence. We have Max Crosby, Jacobs, and Champ Bailey in our top 3. This is the AFC Championship game, the most important game of Champ Bailey's career to this point. Not a great start. We were down 14-0. Let him score again. We're down 14. Baker does score. The defense is letting him get right down the field, though. We got to score here. That's big. It makes it a 3-point game. We did just get an interception. That's huge. Baker's got to get us down the field here. We're in field goal range, and that sack actually takes us out of it, and we end up punting. So now with the game on the line, the defense has to come in and make a stop. We'll take a look here. I don't see Champs down there on the bottom underneath the just win baby thing by my press circle to exit. It is a handoff, though. That is not Etienne. That's not Tank Bigsby either. I don't even know who that is. That should be an auto-generated guy. Maybe that's someone I just don't know that came out of the draft this year. Champ is lined up outside. It looks like he's on Calvin Ridley. They're dropping back to throw, and we leave Christian Kirk wide open for the first down. I don't see Champ on the field this time unless someone's lined up down there all the way at the bottom. He's actually thrown in that direction, and Champ was on locks there on Christian Kirk. I think that's where he's going to be mostly, is off the screen down at the bottom, which sucks because I do want to be able to see him if he's going to make a play. It is a handoff this time to the guy I don't know his name, Lamontang, like Montang from Rainbow Six Siege. Ridley comes in motion. Champ motions with him. Champ is dropping back deep, and he throws that way, and it's knocked away. I don't know if that was Nate Hobbs, but now the offense gets the ball back. The offense is going to get the ball back with a field goal to tie the game, and we take 2 bad sacks in a row. And now on 3rd and 16, Baker throws a touchdown to Devontae Adams. We are one big defensive stop away from going to a Super Bowl. I actually don't think Champ ever won a Super Bowl. I'm pretty sure he lost the one he went to with Denver. Yep, you can see Champ lined up out on the widest receiver there, who I'm assuming is Calvin Ridley. Trevor is dropping back to throw over the middle. He finds Ingram. Queen does make the tackle right away, but they do let up the first down. Champ is once again lined up out wide. Who is he on? Is that Ingram this time with Superstar? He's dropping back. He's throwing that way, and Champ Bailey gets the INT to end the game. That's huge. Oh my God. Champ Bailey just ended it. He sends us to a Super Bowl. In man coverage, he locks up Evan Ingram like that. He jumps the pass. Look at that right in front of him. What a play by Champ Bailey to potentially send this team to the Super Bowl. And that's the first down that'll do it. They are going to the Super Bowl. The Las Vegas Raiders. T-Lot throws 2 late interceptions that end up sending us on to the Super Bowl. We'll look at defense where you can see Patrick Queen had had one of the INTs, and Champ Bailey had the other with 2 tackles, a pass defense, and 3 INT yards. What a game for Champ and really just send them on to the Super Bowl like that. We haven't had that happen yet with any defensive player, to see them make that big play. And now let's see in year 3 if they can put it all together and Champ can get a ring in his 3rd season in the NFL. I had to double check myself, but I was right. Champ Bailey's only Super Bowl appearance was the one that they lost 43-8 to the Seattle Seahawks, where Denver got blown out in one of Peyton's last years. And now we go on to face Chicago in the Super Bowl. It's weird seeing the Bears here. Their top player is Jalen Johnson. I wonder who they have at quarterback. You can see Dallas Turner there. Marvin Harrison Jr. has progressed into their best player. So we now get a 3-year vet on 3-year vet, same rookie class, Marvin Harrison against Champ Bailey. I think that's it. We won. It's 31-9. Champ Bailey is going to be a Super Bowl champion. I just want to see real quick. Let's jump in here and watch the defense play and try and cement it. There's DJ Moore, Darnell Mooney, Cole Kmet. The Bears still kind of have the same team running here. Justin Fields is dropping back to pass. He's got time. He ends up hitting the running back out of the backfield for a first down. It's like I said, scores 34-9. The game is over, but this time Fields in an empty backfield. You can see Champ lined up top in man coverage. Justin is throwing to the opposite side to the middle to Darnell Mooney. Maybe they're not calling it quits or taking timeouts. Are we lined up in press here? Champ lined up top. He's dropping back. He is back there deep, and Max Crosby makes the play. He has 5 sacks. Max Crosby is your Super Bowl MVP. He has 5 sacks. Yeah, we're lined up in man on DJ Moore up top with 11 seconds left. They take a timeout. Once again, it looks like we're lined up on DJ Moore up top. Champ he's dropping back to throw. Fields has time, and he ends up throwing it out of the back of the end zone with 7 seconds left. And now on a 4th and 9, potentially the final play of the Super Bowl. Can see him once again lined up there on DJ Moore. Champ I can't believe Max Crosby has 5 sacks. He's dropping back to throw. Fields to the opposite side of the field, ends up throwing it away, and there's 3 seconds left. The game is going to end there. Just like that, we are Super Bowl champions. Max Crosby has 5 sacks. Devontae Adams, Baker Mayfield, Josh Jacobs, Jacoby Myers, Michael Mayer, Max Crosby, Champ Bailey, Nate Hobbs, Tyree Wilson, Patrick Queen. All of these guys end up becoming Super Bowl champions now. Baker Mayfield wears number 19 on this team. That is disgusting, but I'm here for it. Yeah, lift up Max. That man just carried us. Dude, Max Crosby having 5 sacks in a Super Bowl, that's insane. Isn't that the record for most sacks in a game is 5, and he did it in the Super Bowl? Look at Baker with a Lombardi. What an image to see. Baker ended up throwing 262, a touchdown, and an INT. Justin Fields had a touchdown and 2 picks for 184. Defensively, we take a look here, and Chris Barnes and Michael Edison had the 2 INTs for us. Jaquan Brisker had 1 for Chicago. I just can't believe Max Crosby has 5 sacks. Pass deflections, Champ Bailey ends up with 2 pass deflections and 3 total tackles. Obviously not Super Bowl MVP, but he had the INT that sent us here, and we end up winning the bowl in year 3. Just like that, basically everyone gets an upgrade. I'll just automatically upgrade everyone just because, so that isn't there and the upgrades don't just sit there. We'll take a look. I just want to know who won it. It's got to be Max, right? Yep. Max Crosby is your Super Bowl MVP. He was also Defensive Player of the Year, and the Las Vegas Raiders are now 4-time Super Bowl champions. And just like that, we'll move on to year 4. What a crazy year that was. As we go into year 4, we actually lost Baker. We managed to maintain the same core with Tay regressing, but we lost Baker, and JJ McCarthy now steps up as a starting quarterback of this team. Champ is still here at corner 1. We'll take a look at how many years he has left on his contract. This is the last year on his contract as we go into year 4 here. I think they could potentially pick up a 5th-year option or just re-sign him. Nate Hobbs is still here, 5 sacks. Max Crosby, Super Bowl MVP. Max Crosby is still here. Edison is here. We still have Mo Riggs, Zach Collins, Patrick Queen, and just like that, we simulate through year 4. In year 4, we don't win the division, but we are back in the playoffs at 9-8, so we declined a little bit, but we had this number 4 rated defense. We're playing the number 3 rated defense. The drop off from going to Baker to JJ McCarthy is kind of evident, as like I said, we go 9-8 this season. Defensively, we take a look here. Patrick Queen once again led the team in tackles. Champ Bailey ups his INT numbers and ends up getting 2 INTs this year, along with 5 pass deflections, a forced fumble, and a fumble recovery. He also had half a sack, which is almost the first sack of his career, but it's only half of one. So just like that, we'll go into another wild card game where we were playing the Miami Dolphins, who we managed to beat last year on our Super Bowl run. We'll see if they're back for revenge. It looks like they lost Tyreek, as Tua is now in their top 3. Jerome Townsend and Jalen Ramsey are their top 3, who are both corners. Our top 3 is the same, and Max Crosby, Josh Jacobs, and Champ Bailey. JJ has us up 7 going into the half, but the defense lets them score, and then they get the ball back. They score again. It's now a 7-point game on an INT. We tie it. The Dolphins force us to punt now with a minute 45 to go. We have a tie game on our hands. We'll take a look at what happens here, see if the defense can make a stop. We got the good camera angle. You can see Champ Bailey up at the top of your screen. Tua's dropping back to throw. He's rolling out. He's got no time. Throws it back to the middle. Tua has 2 touchdowns and 2 picks. The defense has been managing to hold him then. Said Tua had 2 touchdowns and 2 picks, so the defense has been playing well. They leave him wide open, but a good hit by the corner there breaks the ball loose and brings up a 3rd down. Tua comes out in the shotgun. Champ is lined up top. That guy cuts in. Champ was playing deep, and Tua's going to get sacked and bring up a 4th down. And now the offense has a chance. JJ McCarthy just needs to get us into field goal range. There is the punt. I don't know who is deep. If you take a look, it is not Champ Bailey, and that is what is important to me. I don't know who that is. So that was a terrible spin move, though. JJ McCarthy has a minute to get us into field goal range, and an 11-yard reception gets us a little closer to that. And we are in field goal range now, running the clock out. There is no timeouts left for Miami. Oh, wait, what? Miami had the ball? We turned it over on the first play. Oh my God. JJ McCarthy just threw. The game's over. JJ McCarthy threw. I didn't realize Miami had the ball. McCarthy threw a late interception, or we fumbled. I'm not sure which one, but we end up losing the game by 3 in the wild card round. And now free agency pens for Champ Bailey. Patrick Queen actually had both INTs. He was the MVP of the game for us. We'll take a look at pass deflections, where you had Xavier Collins, Devin Blackman. I've been calling him Zach Collins. It's Xavier Collins. Champ Bailey had no pass deflections. I don't know if he had any tackles or anything. We'll scroll down here until we see him. He had ended the game with 3 tackles. No other stats to talk about. And just like that, we move on to year 5, where again, free agency pens. And now as we move into year 5, even JJ McCarthy is gone. We have Jacob Jacoby Myers. Tay has regressed all the way down to an 82. Champ Bailey does end up re-signing here. He is a 94 overall. We'll go take a look at his contract real quick, see how long he's here for. He's here on another 4-year deal, where he might be one of the highest paid corners in the league. We look here at the rest of the defense, where Winners, the rookie from a few years ago, is an 82. Patrick Queen has unlocked an X factor up to a 91. Xavier Collins is an 80. Morig is an 87. Max Crosby is still a 99, and Nate Hobbs is an 86. Also, Edison is still here at strong safety. He is an 81 overall. I did just change that because for some reason they had Dodson starting over him, which doesn't make any sense to me. So we are locked up here until year 8, and just like that, we'll simulate to the playoffs. Following a Super Bowl, they end up losing in the wild card round. We'll see if they can recapture that magic and make another big Super Bowl run. With the departure of JJ McCarthy, the offense ends up falling off and couldn't even score over 17 points a game. We go 5-12 and miss the playoffs. We had the number 4 rated pass defense, 14th rated overall defense. Mitchell Clark just doesn't have that magic, as he threw 17 touchdowns and 16 picks. Champ Bailey ends up with no INTs this season, but he does have a TFL, 65 tackles, 2 pass deflections, a forced fumble, a fumble recovery, 1 fumble yard, and no touchdowns or blocked kicks. Crazy to see Patrick Queen led the team in INTs with 3 of them. Patrick Queen has actually been the all-star for this team. I'm just curious to see Max's sacks, as he had 18.5. But just like that, we are on to year 6. Okay, wait, we might actually be able to cook this year. We do have Justin Fields now. We actually have Jahan Dotson as receiver 1, as we lost Jacoby Meyer and Tay Adams in the same offseason. We do still have Josh Jacobs and Michael Mayer. Max Crosby still here at a 99 overall. We have Patrick Queen at a 91. Champ lost his X Factor and is a 95. Edison is now corner 2, as Nate Hobbs, it looks like, is gone. He is an 81. We have Winslow here at strong safety. He is a rookie. Patrick Queen still around at a 91, and Morig is an 86 overall. We also have a rookie at right outside linebacker in Holidays. We have 2 starting rookies on this defense. Simulate to the playoffs here in year 6, where once again, I got to look at his age. Champ Bailey's probably 28, 29 now. He might be pushing 30 here by next season. 3 years removed from the Super Bowl, Crawford actually got fired, so we must have missed the playoffs again. I'm going to actually bring in Antonio Pierce now as head coach, which is what I've been waiting for, to be honest. And so in steps Antonio Pierce here as head coach, finally getting his opportunity. He sat in the back behind Crawford this entire time, waiting for his opportunity. He takes over a team that just finished 5-12 and was actually red in everything but rushing offense, as the entire team has started to decline. Justin Fields was 30th in passing yards. He didn't have a great year. Defensively, we take a look. Patrick Queen once again led the team in tackles, and Champ Bailey led the team in INTs with 2. They only had 3 interceptions on the season, which is crazy. He had 53 total tackles, a TFL, 1 pass deflection, 2 forced fumbles, a fumble recovery, and 2 fumble yards. Oh, he had a touchdown. Was it one of the picks? Yeah, 35 INT yards. He had a pick 6 this season, his first career touchdown. But sadly, we don't have a game to watch this season, so we move on to year 7, as he is now going to have 2 years left on his contract. In year 7 of Champ, we still have Justin Fields at quarterback. We still have Jacob Jacobs. We still have Jahan Dotson. We now have Miller here at receiver 2. Michael Mayer is still around. We'll take a look over on the defensive side where you have Champ up to a 96. Crosby has started to regress a little bit down to a 98. Winner's the rookie from the Super Bowl years an 85. Edison's an 82. Winslow, the rookie, progressed up to a 79. Patrick Queen, again, still has his X Factor. Champ lost his for the second time in his career. Morig is still here. And Holiday, who was a rookie last season, is up to a 78. And just like that, in Antonio Pierce's first year as head coach, we will see if they can make the playoffs. That just showed Micah Parsons as the best player on the Chicago Bears, as he must have got tired of Jerry Jones's shit and he decided to jump ship. In Antonio Pierce's first year as head coach, we are the number 1 seed with a first round bye. We're the number 7 rated offense under Justin Fields, the number 6 rated defense, 3rd in passing defense, so Champ might have cooked this season. Justin improved quite a bit. We'll go take a look at our defense here. Patrick Queen once again leading the team in tackles. Champ Bailey, I just saw, had 1 INT to go with 55 tackles, 1 TFL, 7 pass deflections, no forced fumbles, potentially another touchdown. No, just 19 INT yards. But we'll simulate the divisional round where we will have an opportunity to watch a playoff game here in year 7. They've made the playoffs quite a bit here. In the divisional round, Trayvon Walker and the Jacksonville Jags will come into town as Travis Etienne, who was their number 1 player for all those years, is no longer there. T-Law is still in their top 3. They have to come into Allegiant Stadium where the Super Bowl will actually be played this coming season. We have the Chiefs and Niners. Who you guys got this year in the Super Bowl, man? I think I just think until it's proven, I don't think anybody can beat Mahomes, but we're down 14-6 here early. I think Mahomes, he has the potential to become the greatest quarterback of all time, which is crazy to say right off the coattails of Brady. And we just got a big turnover and took the lead, and now all of a sudden it's a 4-point game, and I didn't even realize because I was too busy slobbing on Brady's meat. We need a touchdown here out of Justin Fields. He does get us there. 29 seconds, 19 seconds, no timeouts, a 3rd and 4, 4th and 4, and now 1st and goal with 10 seconds left, and we score with 4 seconds left. And we're going to go on to the AFC Championship game again. Antonio Pierce, as a rookie head coach, is on his way to the AFC Championship game. You can see Justin had 3 touchdowns and 2 picks. T-Law threw 1 INT. Defensively, that 1 INT ended up going to Patrick Queen, who this man just is an interception machine. Cooper DeJean also had an INT in this game. We'll go take a look at pass deflections real quick, where it doesn't. Champ Bailey didn't have a single pass deflection. He ended up with 5 total tackles. No other stats to talk about in the game, but he is going on to an AFC Championship game, where last time we were here, he got the game-sealing interception and sent us on to a Super Bowl. In the Conference Championship game, we are playing the Indianapolis Colts, who are still manned by Anthony Richardson. They also still have Quentin Nelson and Jonathan Taylor, with Robert Dupree, a new free safety on this team, but they still do have their core players on offense. It is currently a 3rd and 8 coming out of the 2-minute warning, a tie game here in the Conference Championship. We are on defense. We have the good camera angle. You can see Champ Bailey up top, no longer with an X under him, just a star. Anthony Richardson comes out in the shotgun with Jonathan Taylor in the backfield. AR is dropping back to throw. He finds an opening in the defense, and he's going to run for the first down. The defense needs to come up big here and make a stop. You can see AR calling an audible. He's going to drop back to throw. He's got time. Hits JT out of the backfield. He's not getting away from Patrick Queen. You had the 3 big guys there on the defense. Champ and Max were waiting in the wing if he did get away from Patrick. Now with a minute 5 left, once again in the shotgun is AR. It's obviously a throwing situation. He's dropping back to throw. He throws it the opposite direction of Champ, and he ends up getting the first down and a big completion to his receiver. They're still letting the clock run. AR is lined up in the shotgun. He's dropping back to throw. He's got time. He hits it to the sidelines, where I think that's Josh Downs, who gets a gain of 5 as they approach field goal range. Champ is lined up top again, as usual in the cornerback 1 spot. He is dropping back to throw. AR throws to the opposite side of the field again, where he finds Josh Downs, and they take a timeout as they are getting into field goal range. They're in field goal range, basically. AR is going to end up handing it off to JT, who's going to make a juke to the outside. He gets a gain of 3, and they're taking the timeouts. They're going to just let this clock run, and they're probably going to kick a field goal to win the game and send us home in the Conference Championship. AR once again hands it off to JT, finds a hole up the middle. Patrick Queen makes the tackle, but it's too little too late. They got the first down, and they now are inside the 20. And with 2 seconds left, they're coming out to kick the field goal. Antonio Pierce calls a timeout to try and ice him, but it might be too little too late. The defense ends up folding in the end and can't get them to the Super Bowl in Antonio Pierce's rookie year as a coach. Potentially. We'll see what happens here. Champ Bailey's not out there to try and block the field goal. Reyes lines up for the kick. The kick is up, and the kick is right down the middle, and the Colts are going to the Super Bowl, and we're going home in the Conference Championship. Just like that, we move on to year 8, where we are going to find out if Antonio Pierce's rookie run was just that rookie luck, or if he is going to come out and lead them to another conference championship game and potentially a Super Bowl. In year 8, we have finally lost Josh Jacobs. We now have Jordan Addison at a 95 at receiver 1. We also have Malik Neighbors. What an offseason for this offense. Defensively, we still have Max. Champ has actually started to regress down to a 93 with just star dev. He is 29 years old and will be 30 by the end of the season. Edison is still here at corner 2. Winslow is still strong safety. Patrick Queen lost his X factor and is an 88. Winters is still here. Even Max is starting to regress. And we finally lost Morig as well. So we will simulate through year 8, see what happens here as Champ Bailey is about to turn 30 years old. Once again, the number 1 seed in the AFC, the Las Vegas Raiders, are looking to make another run at it under Antonio Pierce with the 6th rated defense, 11th passing defense. We'll take a look at our boy Champ's stats. Justin Fields had a pretty good season with 38 touchdowns. Defensively, Champ Bailey tied with 2 others with 2 INTs, along with 74 tackles, 46 INT yards, 5 pass deflections, and he had, he did have another touchdown. So he had another pick 6 this season. Once again, not going to be defensive player of the year, but he hasn't put up any big interception numbers, which is crazy. So I don't think he's going to catch his real life self in interceptions, because he had like 53 in his real life career. And now it's time for a revenge game. The Indianapolis Colts come into Las Vegas after knocking us off in the AFC Championship last year. You can see Patrick Queen and Max Crosby in the top 3. There is no more Champ Bailey up there, but AR, Josh Downs, and Jonathan Hamilton for the Colts. The pickups of Jordan Addison and Malik Neighbors are huge for this offense, looking at the fact Justin Fields threw 38 touchdowns. The defense lets Indy strike first, which is not a great start for us. Fields gets us down and ties the game, and then Indy scores right back. We get a field goal, and it is now a 4-point game. AR goes right down again and scores. It's an 11-point game. We make it an 8-point game, but then AR makes it a 10-point game once again. The offense has to score here. Justin Fields converts a big 4th down, takes a sack, and now he threw a pick, and that's going to do it. And we're going home in the divisional round as the number 1 seed. The Colts are just our kryptonite. AR ended up throwing for 219 and a touchdown, no INTs. Fields threw 218, a touchdown, and 1 INT. We'll take a look at defensive stats, where obviously he didn't have an INT. Oh, Morig went to the Colts. That's awesome. I'm so happy for you, buddy. Champ Bailey ended up with 4 total tackles, and once again, no other stats to talk about other than that. And now we go back into free agency going into year 9, where he is 30 years old now. He is getting to that aging point of corners where they start to decline. This is realistically the point in a corner's career I think all of them should consider switching to safety, because if you can play coverage like that and you just can't play man coverage with these younger guys, it's the same point Pat Pete is at. We'll simulate to year 9 though and see if he decides to come back to the Raiders with Antonio Pierce, where he has led this team to back-to-back number 1 seeds, or if he decides to jump ship finally after 8 seasons. Champ is back in Las Vegas on a 1-year deal worth $21.4 million. That is a expensive 1-year contract. We lost Justin Fields. We now have a 65 overall quarterback, and Boykin at running back, Addison and Malik Neighbors are still here, but with no one to throw them the ball. I did think we should just put Champ Bailey at quarterback. Max and Patrick Queen are still around. A lot of the 3 main pieces of this defense in the Super Bowl run are still here. Maybe they can make another run at it. I don't know about that with a 65 overall quarterback, though. For the first time under Antonio Pierce, we are not the number 1 seed and we'll have to play a wild card game, but they did go 9-8 as they had the number 6 rated defense, 10th rated passing defense. Stephen Carden actually did pretty good in yards. He had 21 touchdowns to 14 INT. Those we'll go take a look at our defensive stats here, where you had Champ Bailey with a career high 4 INTs at the age of 31. He had 68 total tackles, 1 TFL, 5 pass deflections, a forced fumble, and no touchdowns this season. That honestly could get him a little closer to a defensive player of the year that we'll go look at this year. AFC defensive player of the year actually goes to Max Crosby. You can see he's not even on the list because the only stat that matters to defensive player of the year in Madden is sacks. Now in the wild card game, we are playing a 99 overall CJ Stroud. They still have Derek Stingley. They still have Christian Harris. I'm assuming D'Amico Ryans is still the head coach of this team as well. Currently tied. The defense is playing huge here as we go into halftime down 3. The defense is letting them come out. They hold them to another field goal. We just need to score a touchdown, and we let them score a touchdown first. It's 17-3, 24-3, and we're going home in the wild card round. 24-10, D'Amico Ryan And CJ Stroud shut us down. CJ actually only had 158 and a touchdown. He didn't throw any INTs. Steve Carton had 193 and a touchdown, actually outperforming CJ to an extent. Defensively, Patrick Queen led the game in pass deflections. Champ Bailey didn't have any. We'll go take a look. He had 2 total tackles, and those are the only stats he had on the sheet. So he was on a 1-year deal, so we now go back into free agency as we push towards year 10, or we potentially lose Champ Bailey. He was regressed down to a 90 overall, which is star dev. He's probably going to regress a little heavier, but we'll see if he comes back or not. Champ Bailey is back for another year in year 10. He is now an 89 overall. He continues to regress. We'll take a look at how long he re-signed for. He's back on another 1-year deal worth $15.6 million. By the way, I saw something crazy. We have Joe Burrow. So now with Boykin, Jordan Addison, Malik Neighbors, a rookie at receiver 3 in Dalton, and now we add Joe Burrow to the mix. And we lost Max Crosby though to make things that kind of negates getting Joe Burrow. Winters is still here. He is up to an 88. Winslow is up to an 85. We lost Patrick Queen too. This defense sucks. Oh, we're screwed. Champ is the only good player on this defense. The offense is actually going to have to carry us now. We managed to lose Patrick Queen and Max Crosby in the same offseason. With Joe Burrow at the helm, this team manages to get the number 1 seed once again under Antonio Pierce with the number 1 rated scoring offense, 16th rated scoring defense, but 8th against the pass and rush. Joe Burrow cooked, man. We gave him such good weapons too in coming here with Addison and Malik Neighbors. Defensively, we take a look, and Champ Bailey had 1 INT, 1 TFL, 68 tackles, 2 pass deflections, no touchdown, safeties, or blocked kicks, but we are in the divisional round automatically again with an opportunity at another Super Bowl run for Champ Bailey. I hit the wrong button and accidentally simmed to the Super Bowl. We didn't make the Super Bowl, so we lost somewhere along the way with Joe Burrow. I meant to just sim to next week, and I accidentally simmed to the Super Bowl. So, I don't know when we lost. I don't know if we lost in the championship game or in the divisional round, but we lost somewhere along the way. We'll take a look at the schedule and figure out which game we lost. We lost in the championship game to the Titans. We'll take a look at the stats in this game. Burrow had no touchdowns in that game, which is probably a big reason why we lost. We take a look, and Chad Radley ended up leading the team in tackles, TFLs. It doesn't look like we had anything with that. We'll take a look at Champ Bailey real quick. Champ Bailey had 3 total tackles in that game, and I messed up, guys. That's my mistake. But just like that, I guess we go on to year 11, where potentially he can come back, potentially he can retire. It really just comes down to what he wants to do, and we see if we keep Joe Burrow. Here in year 11, he is back. He's an 87 overall. I'm imagining it's on another 1-year deal. He is now 32 years old. It is on another 1-year deal. He now has low overall interest to re-sign. Head coach historic record is really the only thing keeping him here. He's got a contract worth $13.9 million. Offensively, we lost Joe Burrow, and we now have a 67 overall Mahoney. With 3 X factors on offense, we used to have 3 on defense, and now they're all gone because Champ's down to star dev. Patrick Queen and Max Crosby probably went off into retirement, both Super Bowl champions, and probably just happy to be done. We'll send to the playoffs, see what this 67 overall quarterback can do, see if Antonio Pierce is just the guy. And with a 67 overall at quarterback, the number 1 pass defense and number 5 overall defense couldn't carry us to the playoffs. We end up falling just short. Tony Mahoney honestly didn't do that bad. He had 24 touchdowns and 7 picks at 3,700 yards. Defensively, Champ Bailey with another 2 interception season along with 5 TFLs, 88 total tackles, 6 pass deflections, and a forced fumble. No touchdowns this year though. He does have one of his better seasons tackle-wise though with 88 total. We'll take a look at his career stats real quick, just see what he's rocking with here. Champ Bailey is obviously probably the oldest person on this defense. He's got 761 total tackles, 17 TFLs, half a sack, 15 interceptions. He's got 289 interception yards, 52 pass deflections, 7 forced fumbles, 4 fumble recoveries, and 2 touchdowns. Again, I don't think a lot of that's better than his regular career stats. I'll have to take a look at that real quick. I know interceptions isn't. I don't think pass deflections is either. No, he is not in front of any of his career stats in real life, other than he does tie forced fumbles. He also scored 2 touchdowns in this career, which I guess Champ Bailey never had a pick 6 in real life, which that's a crazy stat to me. Like, he had 52 interceptions in his actual career. He's only got 15 in his career to this point in the sim, which that's, again, a crazy jump, but to never have a pick 6 on 52 INTs. But like I said, the only stats he compares to his real life self in is forced fumbles and fumble recoveries. He had 7 and 4 in the sim and in real life. Defensively, Champ Bailey is gone, and sadly, this team just got Caleb Williams. They do still have Malik Neighbors, but they ended up losing Jordan Addison, but they got Caleb Williams, and Champ is gone, maybe retired. Champ Bailey goes on to the Arizona Cardinals. He is now an 85 overall. He's back there on a one-year deal, so we'll jump over to Arizona and see what this team can do for him. Sadly, he leaves right as this team gets another quarterback. We end up leaving Antonio Pierce behind to keep running Las Vegas and hopefully get that team to another Super Bowl along the way. But for right now, we don't want them to make the Super Bowl, or if they do, we're on the NFC side, so we could play his old team in the Super Bowl. This team isn't too bad with Drake May. They have Dorsey, Springs at receiver, a Lowry at receiver 2, Bailey at tight end, so we have 2 Baileys on this team. He is actually corner 3 on this team. He is currently 33 years old. He'll be 34 by the end of the year. This is year 12. He is behind 2 guys that are Randall and Beasley. The defense is honestly pretty good. This team is pretty stacked. They should be able to put everything together and make a playoff run at least. We'll sim forward to the playoffs, see what happens here. I think it's crazy to see him as a corner 3, but he also is in year 12 and is about to be 34 years old. Well, Chris Wolf in our first season as him ends up getting fired, meaning they missed the playoffs. We'll go over here. I'm honestly just going to jump in as Chris Dale just because I don't know who to make the coach of the Arizona Cardinals. I mean, I could bring in J.J. Watt. We're obviously not going to jump in as Drake May. We'll go to coach. I'm just going to leave it as Chris Dale. I can't believe that it doesn't have just like random auto-generated names. It just automatically goes to Chris Dale. Yep, I had to say something. We're Phil Rickard. This team, as good as the roster was, went 9-8, missed the playoffs. They went 9-8. You fire him after a 9-8 season, 24th against the pass, though. That's pretty bad. So the Champ Bailey experiment in Arizona didn't really seem to pay off. Defensively, he did not end up getting an interception this season. We'll take a look here at his stats, and he's actually not even here. What'd they do? Cut him? Did they trade him mid-season? Hold on. They traded him to the Browns in the middle of the season. Oh my God, are they in the playoffs? He really did get traded mid-season. I've never seen that happen. We might actually be in the playoffs. Oh wait, does Evan B. Did that say player? They must have fired their coach too. Yeah, the Browns fired their coach too, so we're taking over as a quarterback on accident. We ended up going 5-12, so it makes sense. Champ is here. They still did shit. We'll just go take a look at his stats real quick, simulate to next year, and see if he's still around. Champ Bailey actually led this team in INTs with 255 tackles, a TFL, a pass deflection, and forced fumbles, so now he does pass himself in forced fumbles in his career. He now has 816 career tackles, 18 TFLs, still half a sack, 17 INTs, 8 forced fumbles, 4 fumble recoveries, and 2 touchdowns. A pretty good career, but it's still touchdowns. Forced fumbles are the only stats he passes real life self, and we will simulate on to next season. We take a look. Champ Bailey is not back here in Cleveland. We'll look at the NFL, see go by age, and I'm assuming, okay, he's a 49er now. We're still around. He is an 82 overall. He's on a 1-year deal in San Fran. We'll go over there and see what's happening there. We won't be a player this time. This is actually year 13, which is crazy he's been around that long. Oh my God, I just ended the league. Oh my God, dude. That's the second time I've made a mistake like that in this video. Well, I guess that's where we call the sim. To be fair, he was going into year 13, and when I looked at the Niners depth chart, he was actually the 4th string corner on the team at an 82. He still would have got playing time. We would have had another season of stats for him under his belt, but I messed up. He's obviously not in the legacy score. He didn't pass himself. I apologize, guys. I just was clicking through and didn't realize the screen was set up differently when you retire as a player than when you retire as a coach. That is my mistake. We went through 12 seasons. I don't think he was going to last very much longer. I hate to end the video early like that, but there's nothing I can do. Sadly, you can't bring it back. I don't get why that's an option on that screen to just delete the franchise like that and retire from it as a whole. I apologize though, but we did get 12 good seasons of Champ Bailey. We did get to see his career stats at the end of that. Well, I guess that's where we call it a retirement. We know he didn't break any major records. He surpassed his real life self in touchdowns and forced fumbles, which is cool. Once again, I'm so sorry guys, but I hope you all did enjoy, and if you did, feel free to leave a like and subscribe. I will talk to you all in the next one. It has been fun. Peace out, guys.